Hello friends, my name is Sumit and you're watching CTXCLOUD tech videos. So this is the video number 10 in our VMware training series. So in our last video, we have seen that how to create a vMotion standard switch and how we have configured, like we have gone on each and every esxi server and we have created a standard switch. But rather again, I am saying that if we have a bigger company where we are managing like 100 plus esxi servers, so it is very difficult to create, go on each and every esxi server and create a standard switch. So to replace this issue, we have a distributed switch in our VMware by which we can manage all the esxi server from a single standard switch. So let me go through how you guys can create a standard switch, and further we are going to configure all the settings. So to create a standard switch, first of all, guys have to go on your data center, click on distributed switch and click on new distributed switch. So here you guys can give the name, like I am giving this name vMotion, or any name you can give this. Like in my I have already two standard switch. One is for production, one is for the storage. So you guys can similarly name this, and right now I'm giving like a name like vMotion. Click on next. Here is the versions, I mean select the distributed switch version. So it's like feature upgraded on each and every release of the VMware. So whenever VMware release any new update, so it will enhance the features. Like in 6.6, 6.0 we have network IO inputs output control version 3. But whenever he creates like 6.5, he added port monitoring enhancement. When it's come to 6.6, Mac learning is also added into this distributed switch. So this is what how you guys can check the what are the latest release with these these distributed switch. So click, I'm selecting with the latest version which is supported by esxi 6.7 and later. Click on next. Here it is asking how many uplinks you want to for this distributed switch. So as of now I'm going with the default 4 uplinks, and I'm not going to create any default port group because we are going to create in some time. So click on next, click on finish. So you guys can see that how easy it is to create a distributed switch. So if I'll expand that, this is my distributed switch. So if you guys will go on host, there is no host added to this distributed switch, and there is no virtual machine running on this distributed switch. And if you guys want to delete this distributed switch, click on right click and click on delete, and you guys can click yes, and it's deleted now. So again, I am creating a distributed switch here. New distributed switch, give the name vMotion. Okay, click on next. With the latest version, select the uplinks for, click on next and click on finish. So now you guys can see that my one switch is created here. Okay, so now let me go inside my previous distributed switch in diagram, and let me explain this. So how easy is to create this virtual machine, distributed switch. So click here, click on summary, click on configuration, and click on topology. So in the right side, you guys can see that we have the uplinks here, but there is no vmnic is connected here. And in the left side, there is nothing, no port group is added. So if I will compare this distributed switch, the newly created distributed switch with my older, with my running, I mean production virtual switch, so you guys can see the difference. So here I have also 2 uplinks, but whenever you expand this, you guys can see that there is vmnic connected here, and another this is in the redundancy. So if my one uplink goes down, so the network flow will go with second vmnic. So the same configuration we have to do on our this newly created distributed switch, plus we have to create some port groups here. So you guys can see that citrix port group, dv port group, and management port group is to manage this I mean 4 esxi servers. Okay, but the esxi 5, 6, 7 and 8 is not added here. So this is like 1 to 4. Okay, so let me start adding my esxi servers here on the vMotion distributed switch. So before you add your host, so create a vmdv port group, or either you can later, I mean on later stage you can add it. So let me first add my host here. So right click, click on add. I'm going to add the host, I mean esxi servers into this distributed switch. So click on next. Here click on plus new host, and I'm going to select all the esxi servers which are running on my environment. So 1 to 8 I have added here. Click on OK. Click on next. So now it is asking how many NICs you want to add for this distributed switch. So which NIC you want to select. So as of now, I'm not going to add any of the VM NIC here. virtual NIC here. So later on we will do that, and how distributed switch makes it easy rather than going on every ESXi server and creating the switches. So click on next. So it is saying that okay, you do not have any uplink if you will try to move any virtual machine, so this will lose the connectivity. So I'm okay with it because later on I'm going to add the VM here. Okay, click on okay, click on next, click on next, click on finish. So once you will add here, so it's in progress, so just wait. And now once I'm going inside this vMotion distributed switch, so if I will click on host, so you guys can see that how many hosts on this distributed switch is 8 hosts we have added. But still if I'll go on the topology, so still we do not have any uplink here. So obviously I need a uplink here so that my network can flow from these ESXi server to the older switches. So let me add a VMNIC here. So to add a VMNIC on this distributed switch, uplink for all the ESXi servers in one go, you have to go on right click, click on add host, add and manage host. Now I am going to manage the networking because we are going to add a uplink here. So again I'm showing there is uplinks, but there is no VMNIC is connected here. So if I compare this with the production distributed switch, so you guys can see that we have a uplinks here, which is showing in green, and we have the port groups here. So let me configure this part first, uplink part. Okay. So again, I'm going into this distributed switch. Right click here, click on add, manage and host. Click on manage host networking. Click on next. Click on all. Select all the host. Click on OK. Click on next. And here I'm going to select vMNIC 5 for the vMotion. Okay. Click on assign uplink. So check first if vMNIC is 5 vMNIC 5 is free for on all the ESXi servers. So as I know that vMNIC 5 is free on all the ESXi servers, so I am going to select vMNIC 5, assign uplink, and I am selecting VM uplink 3, uplink 1 for all for this distributed switch. Okay, click on apply assignments for all the ESX all the hosts. So in one go it will add vMNIC 5 for all the hosts. Okay, click on OK. You guys can see that a vMNIC 5 assigned uplink 1 for the vMotion. Okay, click on next, click on next, click on next, click on finish. Just wait, let me refresh this, and you guys can see that one green uplink here. So if I'll expand this uplink, so you guys can see that my 8 ESXi servers are connected with vMNIC 5. ESXi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, so in this way we have connected our uplink on the distributed switch. So in the left side now we need a port group. So similar like production, we need a management port group. So similarly we need here a vMotion port group. Okay, so to create the port group here, click on right click here, click on distributed port group, click on new distributed port group. Give the name is vMotion -dv port group. Click on next. Here it is asking port binding is static. This is fine. Port allocation, number of ports, and this is fine. I'm going with the default configuration. Click on next, click on finish. So now you guys can see that one port group is added here. Okay, and on the right side we have the uplinks now. So now how to migrate our existing VM kernel port group on this DV port group, okay, without breaking any machine. Okay, so to do that you have to again right click, click on add manage, add manage and host, click on manage host networking, click on next, add all the hosts, select all the hosts, click on next. Okay, click on next. Here I'm not going to touch anything. Click on next, and here we have to assign a VM kernel port group. So you guys can see that on the virtual switch 1 we have the vMotion, again on second ESXi server we have the vMotion, third vMotion, fourth. So all the vMotions we are going to assign to the newly created virtual machine DV port group. Okay, select here, click on assign port group, click on vMotion port group, click on assign all the hosts, click on OK, click on next, click on next, click on finish. So just wait, And now you guys can see that on the this vMotion port group we have all the esxi servers connected. When I mean 51, 52, 53, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so on this right side we have the all vMotion port groups added here. Okay, now again I in my 4 here, if you will go on the production DV switch, you guys can see that I have 4 ESXi server is connected from ESXi 1 to 4. Okay, in the right side you guys can see that ESXi 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but now 5, 6, 7, and 8 is not connected with this management, I mean production, or you guys can say that management distributed switch. Okay, so how you guys can add this? So on the production DV production distributed switch, click on right click, click on add host and manage add host, click on next. Here I'm going to select all hosts. So this is automatically gives okay for like 1, 2, 3, 4 and is also already connected. So these another 4 hosts are, I mean, compatible with this. So select all the hosts ESXi 5, 6, 7, and 8. Click on OK. Click on next. And here I'm selecting the standby vmnic here. Okay, so vmnic 1, assign uplink, click on uplink 1. So let me check first where is the uplink. So 0 is on the uplink 2 and vmnic is on the uplink 1. So the same I'm going to do with other like newly added hosts. So click on add host, click on next. Here click on add host, select all the hosts, click on OK, click on next. Select the vmnic 1, assign uplink, select the uplink 1, apply to all hosts, click on OK, click on next, click on next, click on next, click on finish. So now you guys can see that ESXi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So all the 8 ESXi hosts are added here. Okay, so just now we have to add this ESXi servers into this management port group. Okay, so to do this, again, I have to right click, click on add and manage host, click on manage host networking. Next, here I have to select the host. I'm selecting 5, 6, 7, and 8. Click on OK. Click on next. Select the click on next and which VM kernel port we are want to reassign this. So I'm selecting this management. Select this VM for the management network. Assign a port group. Select the DV port group management. Assign all the hosts. Click on OK. Click on next. Click on next. Click on finish. So now you guys can see that. Just wait. 31, 32, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are now added. Okay. So just refresh this. Again, same work I have to do with the storage only. So for the storage port group, I'm right click on add host and networking, click on next, add the host, all the 4 hosts, click on OK, click on next. And for the storage, we have another storage adapter which is vmnic 3. Click on assign, click on uplink 1, click on apply, click on OK, click on next, click on next, click on next, click on finish. So here you guys can see that ESXi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are now added. Okay. And in the VM kernel port, we have still 4. So we have to add another 4 hosts here. So right click, click on add host and manage networking. Click on manage host networking. Click on next. Here I have to add all the hosts which is required like 5, 6, 7, and 8 because 1 to 4 is already added here. Click on OK. Click on next. Here we have to change the storage port group. So for the storage we have vmnic 3. Let me check. Okay, so select vmnic 3 here. Assign uplink, not assign, just cancel it. Don't do anything here. Click on next. And here we have to change the storage port VM kernel port group. So select the storage, assign the port group, select the DV storage port group, click on apply, click on OK, click on next, click on next, click on finish. And just wait. So now you guys can see that all the 8 ESXi server are added here on this storage port group. Okay, storage distributed switch. So now we have all 8 esxi server for the vMotion. Go to the configuration, just wait. Where is the topology summary? I mean, you have to select here, and here you have like 8 esxi server we have for the vMotion. 8 servers we are in our storage dv port group, storage distributed switch, and 8 in the management. Okay, so if you will click here, so all the 8 esxi servers are here. Now finally we have to migrate our this machine without breaking anything on our distributed switch. Okay, so just wait. Now you guys can see that. Let me sign in this. Click on sign in, and let me check the IP address here. CMD. It's like bit slow. Okay, just cancel it. Right click, run CMD IP config. So this is 157. So I'm selecting a ping here, which is ping 192.168.1.157/t. I think I have to turn off the firewall here, and just wait. Okay, is I'm able to ping the machine. So now you guys can see that I'm able to ping the machine. So without breaking this ping, I have to migrate this virtual machine from my standard switch to the distributed switch. So if you guys will go into this configuration, click on edit settings, and still you guys can see that it is running on VM network port group. Okay. So to do this, I have to go on my production virtual switch, click on right click on manage host networking, click on next. Here I have to select all the hosts, click on next, click on next, click on next, and here I have to change this machine, select this, assign a port group, change citrix server dv port group, click on OK, click on next, click on finish. So you guys can see that it is reconfigure, it is trying to reconfigure this virtual machine. And can we check is our ping has been failed? So you guys can see that there is no ping failed on my virtual machine. This is still up and running, and I have migrated this virtual machine from my standard switch to the distributed switch. If you guys will go into the virtual machine, and now you guys can see that CTX MST VM Win10 is now migrated to the distributed switch from the standard switch. So this is the complete how you guys can, I mean, start migrating your I mean networking of your standard switch to the distributed switch. So that's it for guys. I mean, this is for the this video, guys. So in our next video, we are going to start configure our vSense and auto deploy of this esxi server. Just stay connected with the CTXCLOUD and subscribe my channel and share it with your friends. And if you guys have any question, so put my into my comment section, so I will try to reply you. Thank you so much, guys.